The next shader we'll take a look at is called Vertex Map. As suggested by the interface, we need to drag in a Cinema 4D vertex map. To create one, simply select the cube, switch to Points mode and navigate to the bottom of the Select menu. Make sure the value is set to 0 and click OK. This, as you can see, creates an empty vertex map, which I'll drag in the respective field. When the vertex map is empty, the node will output black color, and when the map is populated with values, the node will output white. The easiest way to paint values on a vertex map is by using the Paint tool. Make sure the mode is set to Add and simply start painting. The vertex map shader, as we already said, can either output black or white, which makes it perfect to combine with other shaders. For example, I will drag in ramp RGB and use the vertex map shader to control its input parameter. Additionally, let's create utility, change the shade mode to flat and color mode to P, which stands for position pass. The utility will be used to drive color 1, while color 2 will be represented by a dark gray color. To complete the shading, I will create an ambient occlusion shader and use the output of ramp RGB to drive its white parameter. With that setup in place, you can continue painting to refine the look of the vertex map. Additionally, you can change the mode of the brush to something like smooth and paint over the edges to smooth out the transition of values in the vertex map. Next, we'll take a look at an alternative approach to control the distribution of values in a vertex map. For this example, I've started fresh with an empty map. Select the cube, navigate to Tags, Character Tags, and apply Pose Morph. Check Maps, select the vertex map, switch to Points mode, and once again navigate to the bottom of the Select menu. This time set vertex weight of 100 and click OK. Select the Pose Morph tag, lock the manager, and check the Animate tab. The Pose slider will allow us to morph between the empty and fully populated state of the vertex map. Instead of using this linear slider, however, I will create a Morph Deformer and make that a child of the cube. Reset the coordinates and make sure that the Pose Morph tag is dropped under the Morph field. What's left to do is check the Fall Off tab and select any of the familiar fall off shapes. This, as you can see, will allow us to control the distribution of values in the vertex map. These changes will be of course reflected by the shading network as well. Change the shape to Source and set sample distance to 0 and scale to 100. Next, create a matrix, change the mode to Object and drop the cube in. The distribution will be set to Surface and count to 10. Play with the seed parameter to get the distribution of vertices that you like. Next, select the morph and drop the matrix in. Additionally, I would like to invert the vertex map. Let's minimize the shading network and set a keyframe. Move at the end of the timeline and set another keyframe with a value of 40. Rewind and play the timeline. This time, as you can see, the transition is starting from multiple locations, matching the individual positions of matrices.